Brett here with Corey and Vince back for, well, this isn't the preseason show. What
It's week one show. It's the week one
week
show.
one
Week
show?
one.
My caption there's off. That's all right. It's going to go great along with our technical difficulties we've been trying to get going here. Well, we had a ball game. We had a football game last week. I was there. What did you guys think about it?
Whew. Good way to start the season. That's all I gotta say for the first part. Good way to start the season.
Yeah.
We did what we had to do. We took care of business week one. That's what we did.
Yeah. Like I said,
Tyler.
I was expecting good things. So.
Well, Tyler Jones took care of it. Just going to give him a shout out tonight. He is up for the at Texas Bowl Mr. Texas Football Player of the Week. So those of you out there that can vote, go ahead and go there. Go to texasfootball.com and vote for Tyler Jones. Mr. Jones had 330 yards on 13 of 16, 3 touchdowns, and 50 yards and a touchdown rushing. He also had a 45-yard average punt per punt average. So
should have had what 6 TDs, 6 touchdowns. Should have had almost 7.
Oh, don't even get me started on how many we should have had.
I'm watching one of the replays and I'm like, one time they called back the touchdown. I'm like, where was the penalty?
Yeah, was that the unsportsmanlike?
No, that wasn't that one. It was one of the several blocking the backs.
Oh
or
man,
the clips.
Well, we had lots of chop blocks in this game. I mean, that's not one that you hear a lot. And there was like 3 or 4 of those called. The rest were calling a lot of penalties on both teams.
Yeah,
so,
mainly us. After we scored, it was mainly a Chapel Hill penalty.
Yeah. I was looking.
After a while, I kind of was like targeting, like, okay, all right.
Well, you just kind of look back and see before you celebrate, make sure there wasn't a penalty.
Right, because we had big plays. It was all big plays.
Yeah. Well, again, guys, we're just going to talk about this past week's game. If you've got any comments or questions or anything you want to ask, feel free to chat with us here. We'll answer the questions. We'll bring your chat online and just kind of talk about it. It'll add to the show. So we appreciate anybody that's out there watching that would like to contribute to the discussion tonight. I guess we can start off just go around and just the number one. I don't know if it'll be anonymous or not, but what was the most impressive thing that you guys saw as a team that we did in week one?
The most, I guess I'll start. Probably the most impressive thing, this may be not impressive, we were able to sub out our starters like midway through the third quarter. Like, that to me, that's, the game was out of hand at this point. So we were able to play, guys, get extended minutes for guys that were playing naturally. Got a chance to look at the freshman quarterback, which, I was going to say it like that. He's going to be okay.
He's a pretty good player.
Yeah, I mean, we, like I said before in the first one, we did the preseason when, I was anxious to see how the team would do. And, that was the impressive part of kind of letting those younger guys come in and play and play the second half, or most of the majority of the second half. That was impressive.
Well, in saying that, Corey, Mr. Brisbane, if you're asking, 4-4, 38 yards, and an average of 38 yards, obviously, for the season. He also had 2 TDs.
Yeah. He didn't air it out as much. I wanted him to air it out as much, but obviously it was, you don't want to, put a freshman in the game late and cause a couple turnovers and shoot his confidence down. You don't want to.
He wasn't scared to try to run anybody over either.
No, he wasn't. Not at all.
He went right on that one play in particular. I remember going right to left from our perspective. He tried to run the defender over to get the touchdown. He was like 3 inches short, I think. And then he scored the next play, but that was impressive to me on the varsity level that he was able to he didn't care. He just was going to run somebody over. If they got out of his way, fine. If they didn't, then he was going to lay the hit on them. All right, Vince, what about you? What was your impressive thing?
Well, I didn't get a chance to actually watch the game.
Oh, wow.
Well,
that was a setup.
He set me up. It's all right. I had some back issues that started actually on Friday and progressed into a major back issue.
Guess what, Vince? While you're sitting at home,
2
you
days
can
ago.
still
So
watch the game on Bulldog Sports Network. It's still on.
yeah.
It's still on the
Trust
website.
me, I wasn't watching anything on Friday. I was not watching anything on Friday. I've
even if you
been
didn't catch it
medicated
now,
for a long time.
you could have watched. You could have watched it all week.
I'm a little medicated right now.
Okay. All right.
Town Bulldog football.
But I've been watching. I've been looking at some stats and stuff, and so from what I was seeing from numbers and everything, like Corey said, we did what we were supposed to do. Like I said last week, I was expecting some great things. I'm hoping to be, I guess it's a little bit of a dream to think that we could go undefeated, but it is possible with this team and this coaching staff. So, and what I was seeing from the numbers alone, it looks way better than I've seen in the past. So, it just from the numbers perspective, it looked like we've got it figured out on offensively for sure. Now, looking at the score, the box score, I was like, well, it looks like defensively we're gonna give people some trouble too. The first half of that game was pretty much the blowout. They were able to come back in that game, but I was thinking that their 36 points, I believe they had 36, came from us putting in backups and stuff towards the end of the game. It looks like what I've been feeling. That's what I'll say. It looks like what I've been feeling. It looks like it could be a special year. I think that these guys got what it takes athletically. Again, the coaching staff is one of the better coaching staffs we had in quite some time, and they're putting it together. And Brett, that comes a lot from me because how critical I can be. I am very how can I say it? Straightforward. So if somebody says, is your team good? I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you like it is. It ain't looking good. It ain't looking good. I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. I still wear this though. You see, but I'll tell them. I'll tell everybody who asks me. No, it ain't looking good this year. So I've been critical in the past, but this looks like it's gonna be a good year for us.
Well, it's only because we care so much. I mean, just be
honest.
Yeah,
of course.
If we didn't care, then we'd just like, oh, well.
I mean, at the same time as me being critical in the past, I've been there for every game. I've been there every game, and I'm gonna keep being critical. If we winning in a blowout and we go for it on 4th and 1 and we don't get it, I'm gonna be that person that's gonna be like, man, like, what are you doing?
Exactly.
I'm gonna be on you.
We've got to be perfect. We've got our first chat, and it kind of goes along with what I was going to say. Is what I was most impressive with, and we didn't have any trouble scoring last year. What I was impressed with was the defense. I mean, you take away the defense, first team defense completely came out almost right at the end of the third quarter. After they had the one touchdown that was broke around end that gave Greenville the 16th point. And after that, we didn't really see the first team defense back out there. And so it was a back and forth. If you watched the game, Corey, you watched the game, you'd know that the game was back and forth there at the end. And I think they outscored us in the fourth quarter, which was fine. So, and on that, Judson Welch is our first comment of the game. 7 on defense this year is pretty stout, probably the best in recent memory. And I would definitely agree with Judson on that because, what I've noticed a lot is we don't have a lot of guys having to play both sides. They can play both ways, but there's a lot of guys that are playing just primarily defense and just primarily offense. And what that's going to do for us as we get going, it's going to give us depth. So if there is a crunch time where you need to pull a guy that plays offense primarily to move into defense, then he's going to be a lot more rested. But they can go with just the guys that are playing defense. And I mean, the tackling in itself was what really impressed me. Like we didn't have in the past, and Vince can attest to this, the frustratingness of watching the games in the press box. like tackle, miss tackle, miss tackle, miss tackle,
hopping and not wrapping up, man.
Right.
Golly, boy, they drive me crazy.
And what I saw a lot of Bulldog pack mentality. You'd have one guy that if he couldn't get him down, he wrapped him up and tripped him up enough, or you had 2, 3, 4 guys to swarm in and just smother him. And that's what I was really impressed with a lot of, because I knew we were going to score a lot of points. I mean, we hadn't had any trouble with that the last couple of years. It's basically keeping the other team from scoring. And Greenville had a couple of drives, but they had to work hard to get those.
That's what I was gonna add to as well, because as well as we scored, and we had, I don't even say we had good field position. The field was small. We scored, 2 or 3 plays. Boom. At the beginning, it was 2 or 3 plays. Boom, we was in the air. We got going, but on the defensive end, I mentioned that in the preseason, can we make stops? Because that's going to separate winning ball clubs, and later on in the season, we have to have guys that can step up and make plays and make stops. Daniel Waddleton, I can't say his name, Daniel Waddleton. Yeah, he jumped over somebody and got a sack. Just leaped over the running back, tried to cut block him and got a sack. And the other free safety, J.K. Davis, outside linebacker, he had a smashing play. I mean, they just made plays throughout the game. And open field tackles. I mean, they're making stops, and that kind of thing, is infectious, especially on defense. You see highlight plays, you see guys make individual tackles, individual plays, and that gets the defense riled up. I saw a play, and I can't remember who it was, but cornerback, it was an interception. I think the only interception we got at the game. It was almost like a perfect play, and it was almost like he ran the route. And the guy, defensive tackle came up. He hit the quarterback, and he just stopped and got a pick. I'm like, that's perfect. Like, you can't do that. Like, you can't coach some of those things, the instinct, some of those things. You pay attention to details. That was great, and I thought that was a telling sign of the defense paying attention to details. Now, obviously, that was just week 1, so everybody got all the jitters out of the way. And I don't think Greenville's as stout of a opponent as Livingston's going to be, because it's going to be speed versus speed. But, I mean, that's a nice confidence builder for the defense, especially a young team, a young defensive team.
Well, yeah, it's a 5A team. I mean, either way you shake it. So, I mean, it's a bigger opponent that's predicted to go to the playoffs, and so it's hard to say how well they are. How well we played versus them versus how we'll play against Livingston. But you like it. They came out and did what we expected to do, and the score didn't really give an outcome. Like we beat them by more than what the score said.
That happens. It's like this sometimes.
It could have been 80.
Yeah, I mean, we had 3 or 4 touchdowns taken out off the board with penalties. I mean, you got to clean those up, obviously. But
let me say, so I've been watching some highlights and stuff of the game, and what I noticed a lot of is not that we played a bad team and we just looked better than them. I don't think that at all. I think what I saw that impressed me a whole lot right now is execution. I see a lot of people aware of what, especially when you pass it. Brett, you remember how in the past sometimes we would be up there in the box watching, and they throw the ball, and you see the receiver kind of lose focus of where the ball is for a second. It's almost like they know this is where it's supposed to be, and that's exactly where it is. Just watching those highlights, it just looks like they're executing on the plays that they hit on. Everybody's executing, doing their part. Some people will obviously look at a score and be like, "Oh, well, they didn't play nobody," and some of the people I know, Brett. I get those text messages all the time. We know who I'm talking about.
What was that Tyler High score?
I'm not going down nobody. But you know some of the people I know
it's all on Facebook
that will text me in a heartbeat and say, "Well, y'all didn't play nobody," and I don't believe that. Like I said, I looking at these highlights, I was like, man, you know what? That's execution. Look at this one. This was, I think, one of them was a 74-yard touchdown pass, and I'm like, man, look at this. Like I don't remember seeing it look this good before, and even if the team we played wasn't so put together, we came out and did what we were supposed to do, and again, the execution is there. So it really looks put together.
Chris Blevins got a chat here, Vince. Says the defense tackled and played well also. I love seeing that. I agree, Chris, 100%. You can score all day long, but if you can't stop the other team, then you're not going to do very well. And I got the chance to talk to Coach McFarland earlier this evening. Shout out to Craig and his defensive crew, just to get some stats and make sure they were correct. And I told him, I said, that's the best I've seen the defense play in years. I was very impressed. And he even told me that throughout the game, there was a lot of guys that they mixed in, second team guys. And so even though the end we saw pretty much a majority of the second team, he was mixing those guys in and out throughout the game, he said.
And they making plays.
Yeah. I tell you, like, if you saw the game live, I'm sitting, I'm kind of watching and working and watching, and finally got a chance to really pay attention. I'm like, man, fast, quick, fast. Everything is at the point of attack. They're not giving up a second chance play, attention to detail. And there's another thing about it too. And if you're watching it, we all know they didn't give up big plays.
Man, do you remember how? Yeah, in the past,
is like
the home runs that was hit on us, man. And
even last year, remember the up the middle runs?
Every game there was one.
Every game happened, and it did not happen this game. There was a couple times.
Eliminate big plays. That's
a lot, man. That's a lot.
That's major. It's major.
Our boy Judson's back. Tyler Jones had an excellent pocket presence. He did a great job keeping his eye downfield, and I was pleasantly surprised.
100%.
I'm very excited. Yeah. I'm very excited about Tyler.
He's got a different skill set than Cam Ford, but the skill set he's got is amazing. I mean, he's as a junior in his first start on varsity. I mean, you could tell he wasn't
good.
He wasn't.
The game wasn't too fast. It wasn't fast.
He didn't give up, tuck it, and just run it every time. If he needed to run it, the few times he did, he ran it. But he stayed in the pocket, like Judson said, and made the throw downfield. And I think, and nothing against Cam. Well, last year I think he got to where he's so athletic that he gave up on the play a little early.
He just made the play himself
and tried to run it, and that worked a lot early. But then teams later in the season started figuring that out.
Worked late too.
Well, it did, but I think
because he was athletic, he was a monster. Let's be honest.
Not saying it didn't work, but I think we got to Lindale, and they had a spy on him, I believe, the entire game.
Game because they knew if they took away everybody else, that he would always just he would bet on him. Yeah.
They made him run, and they had somebody always on him, and it kind of shut him down.
Yeah,
and I think you see these stats. I mean, I know Tyler Jones is up for the player of the week or whatever, and that's great. He had a great game. But let me read some stats to you of Mr. Deuce McGregor. Okay, Deuce, he had let's see, where's his stats? 4 catches, 209 yards on a 52.3 average. Now, there's no touchdowns on there, and the only reason there's not is because we had a couple of penalties. Yeah. Otherwise, he has probably, I think, was it 2 that he got called back? I can't remember exactly. I know 1 for sure, but it was several.
That one big run. Yeah. We scored on big plays anyway. So, I mean, majority of the time we scored on big plays.
You know, he's a junior, right? He's a junior this year, right?
Deuce, yes, Deuce is a junior.
Yeah, because I remember last year I remember thinking like, man, he's so young and he got so much talent in him. He was making plays last year, and I would just be like, man. boy, this dude, by the time he becomes a senior, God, man, he gonna figure it out, dude. He gonna be the person. He might be that person that have everybody come out here watching.
Yeah,
like
he played well.
Yeah, like to be so young and to have all of that talent in him like that, man. And this is his junior year. I expect for him to really just blow up.
Adam Martin says we got to get better on penalties. They played pretty well, though. I agree. I think week one, though, you've got time to clean those up. I mean, you played somebody, you still won handily, and it could have been 2 or 3 touchdowns more easily.
That just takes some discipline.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's the first game jitters. I mean, I don't, I mentioned that before last week. I don't want them to peak, or I don't want them to peak right now. It's after week one, I'll accept a couple of penalties and we win by 29 points. Cool. Yeah. It's not cool, but it's like, hey, if these are coachable, correctable mistakes, maybe we can change the way we do some things. But I like, as
Corey.
I think I lost Corey.
Wait, did you? I think Corey is.
We dominated this end.
There you go.
War in the trenches.
There you go.
We lost it for a minute.
Big stops. We were able to get guys in the
Corey,
game
can you hear us?
that would normally wouldn't get a lot of minutes.
I don't think he can hear us.
We got to pay attention.
Oh, we have technical difficulties, everybody.
By 29 points.
Corey,
what's up?
You can hear? Hey, can you hear?
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
You like blanked out for a second, bro.
You were gone. You were gone for a brief moment, and then you came back. You were
and you didn't hear nothing we were saying.
This is crazy.
Is that Suddenlink?
I don't know who you were speaking.
Is this show sponsored?
No, we're not gonna get him in trouble. We're not gonna get him in trouble.
We need some Suddenlink sponsorship.
Yeah.
I don't know who of this should speak. But anyway, what I was saying, what I was mentioning was that as far as like like a sandwich method, you taught this in coaching, you teach the sandwich method. You praise, you critique, you praise. The guys are going out there, they're playing well. You kind of mentioned to them like, hey, you guys are doing a great job. We were able to get, we won the war in the trenches. We didn't give up any big plays. We got to get guys in the game that would normally get to play. A lot of people got minutes. Hey, we got to cut down on turnovers. Hey, let's
they'll work on that.
Work on that. Go back to the drawing board, do this. But hey, you won by 29 points. That was the main goal. You got a first win of the season. That's the kind of the message that you would want to give a young team like that. And I keep saying the young because a majority of this team is juniors and sophomores. So
you got a lot of seniors on defense.
Ain't it? That's exciting, ain't it?
Defense has a lot of seniors. But as far as definitely the offense is a lot of juniors. I know we kind of realized that last night. The Mr. Tackle was at his best. Brack Dyer had 11 tackles. So, he was all over the field. Mr. Ross had 10 tackles as a sophomore. So there's some young talent there. He got some good playing time in this game. So several guys there that got some good playing time. Trying to go over some other stats here since I've got some stats.
I'm looking. Yeah, I got them pulled up here right now. Looking through.
So rushing, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys attempted rushes on the night. So you had 35 carries for 301 yards. That's 8.6 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns. Leading the way was actually leading the way was a freshman, Demetrius Pittman, the backup quarterback, with 4 carries for 68 yards with a 17-yard per carry average. And, when we talked about it a little bit on air, Logan and I did, that he has the skill set almost. Now, we didn't see him throw, so I can't, he didn't throw a whole lot, so you couldn't really tell. He's almost got that Cam Ford-esque skill set. And nothing against Tyler Jones, he's very athletic. But he runs like a running back almost. And I don't know. Yeah, I mean, he's trying to run you over. And so just being able to see him play as a freshman and get reps, it's going to be huge, because especially in this day of age, with heaven forbid we mention the COVID word, but you never know. and you've also got injury possibilities. You've got to have somebody at that backup quarterback position. And so we saw that we have somebody now. The more reps they can get under his belt, it's going to help him. But, coming next in line will be Samari Willis with 64 yards on 9 carries. Got Tyler Jones had 3 carries for 50 yards.
Humphrey with 23. Oh, yeah. 41 right now. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 4 for 23. Williams, 5 for 23. You had a lot of guys in. Mainly, you had the main guys in the backfield were really Davis, Brooks, and Willis were the main 3 guys. Williams came in and did. He came in and made some big plays. He's almost that. Not Tomlinson. What's the little back that was at San Diego?
That was LT. Oh,
no, Sproles. He almost has a Sproles type look. He's real small, sneaky on a screen. He almost hides and you can't find him.
Yeah,
he kind of reminded me of and made some pretty. He actually, I'm gonna look at his receiving stats because he had a couple of those. He had 1 catch for 21. It was a screen, and he caught the ball and just hid behind his lineman and went, rumbling for 20 yards. So I was impressed with him and the little time that he saw in the field as well. Just so many weapons. I mean, you could talk all day about the weapons.
Watkins had probably one of the best catches of the night. That got called back. It was a touchdown.
He was going
to catch it.
It wasn't. It was basically out of bounds probably. But he used every inch of his 6'5" frame.
Because I'm thinking if he catches it, somebody's got to send it up to like top 10 plays. I was like, oh, this is going out of bounds. Whoa, he pulled it in.
And then he catches it, and you turn around, and it's like that's coming back. Oh no!
Like, why would you do that?
And that's one of those plays you go back on film, and you're getting on to whoever just cost you that catch because that was impressive. Did you see the hits that we got on the Greenville quarterback?
Oh yeah,
there was a couple of times I didn't think he was going to get up. One of them was the great catch that they made, that one deep play that got him to that first touchdown. I mean, he took a lick. I think it was Davis that hit him.
Yep.
But man, he like jumped and caught him in the air and hit him. And it was. I mean, I think if he hadn't had the adrenaline for making the big play, that quarterback probably would have rested and laid on the ground for a little bit because he was probably hurting the next day on that one.
We were making hits, no doubt. Everything was hit. I mean, point of attack was on point. I mean, and they were making plays, especially on the defensive end. Like I said, they were paying attention. Like, I think that may have been one of the bigger plays that they had that game, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, they really didn't score. It wasn't like a 60-yard touchdown pass.
No, they got the safety that we kind of. That was one of the mistakes that Jones made on the night was he kind of lost track of where he was in the end zone, and then when he realized where he was so close. That I saw was, I don't know if he didn't see the guy when he threw the interception. I mean, he threw it right to Greenville. I think he was just playing underneath. I don't know. He may have not have seen him. And then there was one fumble. He fumbled a snap. It was kind of low, but other than that, I mean, I was very impressed. I mean, he played almost a perfect game as far as for a first game that you can play. I mean, you're going to make those kind of mistakes, especially since his first game starting.
I really thought, now that I look back at the replay, that one play when he throws a touchdown, I can't remember who was out. I can't remember who it was to. It may have been to McGregor, if I'm not mistaken. But he steps up, shakes off the defender, steps up, and he throws it on the back of his leg. Like he just heaves it. I'm like, man, it looks like the pass is going to be short. And, our guy's like 2 steps away from the defender. Catch is perfect. And I'm like, all right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay. All right, he's got a little something there. He didn't look like, he doesn't look very big. You know what I'm saying? From a distance, he doesn't look like a stout kid, But that little power, is, man, he had a good arm. So I'm like, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, we're gonna be all right.
Talent comes in all shapes and sizes.
I'm sitting there shaking my head. I'm like, we're gonna be all right. Yeah. I didn't doubt it after that. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, made you feel good.
That was impressive. Because every once in a while, you kind of look like, you watching the game, and it was the movie Trouble with the Curve. I know you probably seen that one.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood's the old guy, the old scout, and he's like listening to the sound, and everybody else isn't paying attention, but no one thinks he's paying attention. But, all of a sudden, he's listening for the sound. That's how I was. I wasn't paying attention, but I'm like, okay, I see the ball. I see the play develop, and I see the ball fly. Okay. All right, yeah, he's got it.
Man, just to give credit again to, like, I know we've talked about the defense already, but as we speaking right now, I'm watching these highlights, man, and I'm watching the tackling. And, man, it just looks so much better than it did before. Like, we're wrapping up. We popping and wrapping up, man. Like that right there was a big deal before, like where we wasn't wrapping up. We would just pop and big guys wouldn't go down. You remember the guy from Lindale who would not go down. I almost would love to see them against this team. Yeah. Because I think this right here, this is going to be something special, man. Like, I just see it.
I believe one of those called things. I believe one of those called 10-0 last week. I can't remember who that was.
Yeah, that was that's your boy right here. Yeah, I said that.
No,
I said y'all looked at me like I'm.
No, I think that was.
Now listen, I'm gonna change. You see, it says. I said. Did you say 10-0?
I said, yeah.
Both of y'all said 10-0.
Okay,
Corey
so it's this guy over here. Well, on my screen it's over here like that, but this guy over here that said that we were gonna lose 2 games. You said 2 or 3?
Yeah, I said 2, 8-2.
Okay. Well, my name, if y'all can see it, it says Prince Vince right now. I'm gonna change it to Nostradamus. If we go 10-0. I'm gonna change it.
Nostravitz.
Nostravitz. Yeah, they're gonna start calling me Cleo. Call me now. Yeah.
I need you to get the better hat on, one that says Bulldog Sports Network on it. So
man,
I
got
I don't see anything wrong with it.
He don't like to see it. He don't like to see it. That's all it is. It's that cowboy in him. He can't help it. He got to hate on everything that ain't got a star on it.
Hey, all I said was I'd like to see the Bulldog Sports Network.
Speaking of that one. I got that one hanging up.
We've got them for sale for $15. So
come get you a hat.
Pick up a hat. I've still got some left. So just send us a message on Facebook or send me a message and we'll get you a hat.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna have my Bulldog hat on this week.
Oh, here we go. We got another question here. Comment.
Okay.
We got Adam Martin. With week 2 coming up, it might be early, but who do you think is looking like is going to be our biggest challenge? Lindale, fairly new to East Texas, so still learning who's out there. 4C, 4L.
Biggest challenge.
Not sure. What's 4C, 4L? Do y'all know what 4C, 4L is?
I know for life. I know the 4L's for life.
Life, or I don't know.
I'm showing my age.
Texas, Adam.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I don't do all of that cryptic talk, man. I don't. I'm old.
DC.
I'm old.
Oh, here we go. Now this is what I'm talking about. DC for life.
No.
I know what that means. There you go, Adam.
I knew it was something.
You know, man. You know.
Something to it. I know.
All right, Adam. I like that, Adam. All right. These other guys don't know what that means, Adam, but I know what that means. That's what you got. All right, so here,
district champs for life. I got you. I got you.
Yeah. Change it up. Correct it.
Yeah.
Okay.
District champs for life.
So what do y'all think? Y'all kind of agree with him? I mean, I think this week will be the challenge as far as our first challenge.
Not taking it away from Lindale, but I got a feeling like it may not be Lindale that may be our biggest challenge this year. It may be somebody. I think we might be focused on Lindale, but I feel like it's going to be somebody else that creep up and
maybe Kilgore, maybe.
there's always Kilgore. I hate to even mention them because it's like
I know.
I got a feeling, like I really do got a feeling, like, and I ain't got a feeling like this in a long time about our football team. So, Livingston, I think, is probably going to be our best matchup. Livingston is going to be that one because not only did they beat us, not only did we beat them and beat them in the playoffs, but like I said, they circled this game, and they're not bad. They're actually good.
They're not bad. They're not bad.
I think that's probably going to be our first like chin test. But other than that, I mean, for us, I think we want Lindell and I think we want Kilgore, and I just hope that we don't get too far in the season and take a team that's less for granted, that's not playing as well or trying to make.
Because there's some other teams that will sneak up on you. There are teams that will do
Henderson snuck out and won a game. Henderson wasn't supposed to win. They snuck out and won a game. So, but yeah, I think Livingston's going to be that team. To me, I think Livingston.
Speaking of Lindell, though, wow, did y'all see Lindell get beat?
Did they get what was the score? You got score?
They got beat by Kaufman, 49-46, I believe was the score. They had like a 10 or 13 point lead late and ended up losing.
Now, this is just my assessment of Lindell. I don't know nothing out what they're doing this year, but to me, what I saw from them last year seemed to be heavy on the run, and so
one guy.
Exactly. And I'm not taking nothing from them. They may got something else in place. I don't know. I'm just saying. If you that situation right there, I don't know what else they have. I don't know what else they could have done.
I think they have other pieces.
That's why maybe I'm not so. I don't want to say I'm not worried because I want to take every game seriously. I'm just not so focused on the Lindell game yet. I'm looking at these other games like Corey said, Livingston. I don't want to sleep on them. Brett, you said Kilgore. Of course, Kilgore is good every single year, or at least they better than us every single year. So those are bigger games that I'm focusing on and trying to get by. But I just feel like Lindell they have a decent offensive concept, but they had a great all-star talent that took that concept last year and made it bigger than what it was. And so
took them to the next level.
Exactly. Took them to the next level. You're right.
So without Jenkins, I think they're a good playoff team that makes maybe a couple of rounds of a run. And
I think I said his name wrong. I think I said something like Jacoby or something, but his name was Jenkins. Jordan Jenkins. That's right. I expect to see him in college. I'm looking for him because I told you, I said, man, this dude is going to be great in college. Look how big he is. Look how fast he is. Like I can't wait to see him in college. He went to Baylor, right?
Yeah, I hope our Longhorns can contain him. He's going to drive me crazy again if he does the same thing.
We're not worried about Baylor anymore.
All right, so we got another the comment here. It's a bold prediction for Christian Blevins. We're going 10-0, then playoffs, then state. We are winning state.
Ooh, I like the way you think.
I do. I like that. I like the confidence. What do y'all think?
I love the confidence, but you know me, I got to be a realist. I'm just I can't do the perfect thing. It seems too good.
Match up with Argyle in state championship.
I want that smoke.
I don't like that. I don't want.
That's it. I'm gonna be confident in 10-0.
I don't want to see Argyle again. Nah, you're right. I'm sorry, man. Up.
You know I am.
All
right. I want
Argyle. We want to see.
I want smoke. I want it.
Argyle, we want to see you someday.
No, 10-0. I'm not saying that. Y'all know me. I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But I am saying that, week to week, we have COVID, we have injuries, we have everything else. I got that. I just want them. I want to see that slope where we go up. I want to see the gradual incline. By the time the end of the season is there, I can kind of tell when that team is just everything's clicking on all cylinders.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got. I don't want it to be early. I want it to be right on time. Like we're gonna have to, fix the turnovers and stuff for week 2. But by the time we play Lindale, I want to see a different Chapel Hill. Like I expect to see a different football. I expect to see a pissed off group of guys. I expected them to be
Don't plateau. Don't get the big head. Just stay focused, disciplined, and change week to week, change it up, because people watch, they figure it out. So like we were saying about Cam from last season, there were people that were watching how we were playing, and by the time we got to them mid-season and stuff, they were just waiting on Cam. They were just waiting to shut him down. So just change it up week to week.
Would you say we overachieved last year?
I'm gonna be honest. You know how I'm gonna tell it. It did not look great at the beginning of the year, and it did end well for us. I don't want to say that we overachieved. I want to say we got an opportunity and we took it.
I like that. I think we were a year early as far as even what Coach Reardon and his staff probably expected. If you'd have told him that this year they would have made the 3-round run, I think that would have been about where he was expecting. I think last year, in kind of the same way, Vince, we got fortunate. We got some good matchups.
Mm-hmm.
The way we fell in district, and we avoided our own district.
Yeah.
For rounds, and we played some districts that maybe don't quite match up to our district of doom.
Or didn't know what we had. They didn't know what we had. That's the thing. So Lindale knew what they were expecting by the time we got to them. They knew what we had. But them other teams we played, they didn't know about Cam then.
We knocked each other out. I mean, because Lindale, they went and beat us, then Kilgore in a row. Basically, we all knocked each other out. So, I mean, I think that was part of it. I think we got a nice matchup. It fell our way, and so it worked out, and we took advantage of it. I mean, you still have to play the game. There's no doubt about it.
You still have to show up and play. Yes,
the kids showed up and they played their hearts out, and they, like Corey's saying, we peaked at the right time too. Like had them really peaked at the right time, and it happened. Yeah. And then we just, as much as we talked about how great the defense played this week, the defense last year was kind of our weakness, especially with that up the middle run. And I don't know how many times we had. I know they were good running backs, but the little center running back ran up the middle on us like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Lindale's Jenkins did it. No telling how many times. The Kilgore running back.
That dude had 300 something.
Yeah, I mean, all that to say that with the defense we have this year and the tackling, if we can keep that up and keep improving that, we've got a chance to shut guys down that last year would have really hurt us.
Mm-hmm.
Every team goes through that period of time where, you're a coach, you kind of, all right, this is our year. Like we're really going to be good this year.
Yeah.
And so, and it's kind of like, I feel like that is the I don't want to say it's a deal right now. The team is like, okay, we got a lot of guys who came back with experience, and we don't want to smile. We see like the matchups and everything. You don't want to smile if you're a coach, but it's like, all right, I feel pretty confident. As long as we do what we're supposed to do, that's fine. I was watching this Titletown USA thing about Dawson State, and one of the coaches said, you won because you did what you were supposed to do. The guys were like they were impressed by what they were, by what happened, and he was like, yeah.
Your question.
Y'all heard it?
There. Yeah, I just put these tiles.
I don't know where that's coming from.
Between you and me,
what
I
is
smell
that?
like a friggin' peach.
Is it?
Whoa.
Did it go away?
Yeah.
Was that you?
Like an advertisement? Nah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Hey, did we have a sponsor? Did we get Suddenlinks our sponsor, Corey?
I don't know who that is.
Adam.
Y'all get that boy in trouble.
Adam's still watching. He says we got hacked. Well, I don't know.
They couldn't play us this year, so they hacked us.
Oh man! Hey, how about we start a little preview of this week's game?
Okay.
We kind of talked about it last week. We're gonna go check this one out. Let's see. We've got Livingston. Now I don't know if any of y'all saw. Did they win last week?
I think they won last week.
They won. We both won enough.
Okay, 1-0. Yep, both teams are 1-0. Looks like, well, according to Max Preps, they're ranked higher than we are, but I don't know what kind of poll they're. I know that we moved up in the Dave Campbell's poll to number 9 this week after Lindale got beat. So we moved up. So that was obviously it doesn't really matter the polls, but that's a nice compliment that what they saw the first week that they liked.
Introducing Grove's line of plastic-free home cleaning products designed to help solve single-use plastic problem. With 100% natural scents, glass-free bottles, and a cleaner for every surface.
Oh, I think that was mine. Hold on.
Okay, I'm like, man, what's going on?
No, I'm remoted into about 3 different computers, and I think one of them was
he's playing some
what is
advertisements.
What commercial is this?
Hey, we need to get money from that then. They
I know we got another chat. Corey Redmond. The state ranking has put a target on our kids. Let's see how they respond down in that. Well, they're not going to sneak up on anybody with that Dave Campbell's ranking, that's for sure. Because everybody kind of reads their stuff. So I think I don't necessarily know that they already probably were feeling a little, but that definitely will give them a little extra pressure. Did I know this is kind of not Chapel Hill, but it's high school football. Did y'all try to use the Friday football app this week and see how bad it did? Like it completely crashed. Did y'all see that? Dave Campbell's new app. I
haven't heard about it.
They updated their Friday football app, which I've used it since it was before Dave Campbell owned it. It's always been how I've updated scores and posted scores on it. And it completely crashed on the first week of talking about they got some comments like, woo. I mean, it was.
Well, I mean, that app is like vital to Friday nights.
And it completely crashed. They redid it like completely, and I didn't like it personally. It put too much advertisement and all that. And Adam agreed with me. He said, yes, it was terrible. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It was bad. So I was wondering how they were going to handle it. And Adam did say they switched it back. I got the update, and it's back like it was, which is so much better. I mean, I know what they were trying to do, and if y'all have ever used it, basically you can check in the score, so all the games. So if you're ever needing the score of Chapel Hill's game, that Friday Night Football now they fixed it through Dave Campbell's is a great app to get. It's free, and you can follow your favorite teams and update the scores right there from your mobile device. But anyway, they reverted it back to the old style now. They tried to soup it up and put like articles that like went with your team and like, hey, subscribe to Dave Campbell's, like trying to get you a little more advertisement and a little more extracurricular things. And it did not go well. People not happy. I mean, it was bad. I was seeing comments and stuff, and I was like, ooh. So they reverted back to the old app basically. So thankfully, they've gone back to it. So, but yeah, we'll be on Texan Live through Dave Campbell's this week for our broadcast. So if y'all look for any place to keep up with high school football scores, their Friday Night Football app is now amazing again. It's back to where it was. So, but yeah, it was. I was trying to update scores during the broadcast, and I was like, man, what's going on here? I couldn't get.
What happened? What happened in the broadcast?
I couldn't. There was like no scores. I was like, what's the world? So Logan finally found another place to look for some scores, so he was able to get something. And that's like my go-to spot. And then usually I try to keep the people on the page and stuff, share the score on there. Well, if they're not watching, and but I wasn't able to do so. Y'all got any kind of score predictions? Y'all want to throw out some scores? Try to.
No, Vince got it.
42-27 Chapel Hill.
Okay. I like that. It's a good solid prediction. Corey?
That's a good one. I'm going to go 48-24.
48-24.
Who?
Who?
You said we were going to lose 2 or 3 games. I need to know. We never know with you. I know you know where I stand. I told you. But you did last week. You said we were going to lose 3 games.
I don't know. I said it's 8-2. I don't know what's going to come. They could go 10-0. I don't
know. Again, that's why I said who.
I'm saying 8-2.
Man, so we get out of here with that.
10-0.
Cut him off. Mute his. Can you mute his mic? Whatever. That way. I don't know where he's at.
Come on, man. 48-24 Chapel Hill. I can't be. Okay. I can't do it. It's a jinx.
48-24.
It's a jinx.
All
right.
It's like telling me the Mavericks are gonna go. Can't jinx. Hey, come on, man.
Write it down. I want to see how close we get.
I'm gonna go. We're gonna say 56-14.
Dang.
Hey, somebody got a pen. Write it all down. Put it on the page.
I just feel like that we're gonna clean up the mistakes, and so we're gonna score those extra touchdowns that we didn't get this week. The defense, we're going to play a tougher team, so the defense is going to stay out there a little more. We're going to get the first guys in. Maybe they switch them in and out, but not completely just go second team.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can do it. Now, I haven't watched any film on Livingston this year, so I have no idea what they're going to bring, what kind of attack they're going to run.
Highlights.
But I don't know. I'm a homer. What can I say? I think we're going to Rory's got it down, so that's good. We probably should have picked last week.
Hey, Adam and who else was writing in? Blevins. Y'all can predict the score too. We'll write those down too. We'll keep up with it.
Send us the score. Send us the score, and we'll see who gets the closest.
We'll see who gets the closest. Yeah.
Blevins is probably going to pick 90-0 because he's very.
That's okay with me too.
I would love that score to be the case. I always love just beating somebody. Just no. There's no crying in football. Just beat them. Beat them till you can't anymore.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I just want.
You got it all down.
I got. Of course, I got me 48-24. Vince, you 42-27. 56-14.
All right. Anybody else out there want to pitch in a score? Send us a chat. We'll get you down. Yeah. We'll come back next week and talk about how much we were off or correct. Oh, here we go. Here's one with Adam. Adam's 42-21 Bulldogs. All right.
Corey, you got mine 42-27. Did you get that right?
I got it.
Okay.
Hey, and any of you guys that are watching, make sure you share with your friends. Like if you enjoy the show and you enjoy listening to Bulldog football talk, I mean, share it with people you think that might. I mean, we want this to be interactive and possible. We can sit here and talk to each other all day, but it's more fun if you're involved and you can voice what you have to say. We may not agree with you. We'll tell you. You may not agree with us. Just tell us. That's what makes this show fun. So
it doesn't matter if you agree with me or not. I'm gonna be right.
Yeah.
This guy.
It's Virgo season. What can I say?
Oh God.
Anybody else got a score? There's 6 people.
Anybody else?
Come on, guys.
It's okay.
You remember the
Don't be shy. Put out a score.
You remember those back in the newspaper a long time ago? You used to do those.
Yeah, you used to. Yeah. Well, you used to do the little pick'em lines. That was back when we had the paper and they'd put down the pick'ems. You'd pick all the teams. Maybe we should do something like that.
I'm interested. Well, yeah.
We got some ideas. You do something like that, and we can open it up. And if somebody beats us, maybe we give them a gift card or something to somewhere. I don't know.
Maybe invite them on the show.
Yeah.
I like that. Got Adam down 42-21. That's actually not a bad score.
Yeah, it's a good solid. That's a good solid conservative score.
Yeah.
I went risky. So I'm either gonna win or
you went.
Mine's either gonna.
You went for blood, like you. Was,
mine's either gonna be really good or it's gonna be not good.
So. As long as it ain't backwards, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that score.
Yeah,
I can live with that. I don't know.
I'm missing Hector tonight, man. Hector, hopefully he gets to catch this later. Oh, I guess we lost Vince.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there he goes. Hold on. He's back with us. Oh wait, hold on. Turn that off. There we go. We got Vince's beard in the picture.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm switching cameras. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Okay, he went off a second. We'll get him back here in a second. But yeah. Let's see if he's back.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. We just see the bottom of your face though.
Oh. There you go.
You must have Suddenlink. You must have Suddenlink too.
Well, I ain't gonna say. I won't get nobody in trouble.
Man, we do need a sponsor. If anybody was interested in sponsoring this show, I mean, just reach out. We'll take sponsors.
Yeah.
Maybe Suddenlink, Corey. Corey, would Suddenlink be interested in sponsoring? As long as we had a clear,
no idea what that is.
a clear cut, no dropout connections. Because I think we all have Suddenlink.
I'll turn my phone this way, see what it is.
I have no idea what that is.
Is that better? Okay, that's better.
No
Is it Altice? Altice? Maybe it's Altice.
It could be. I don't know. I heard they were okay.
Okay. All right. Well, I've missed Hector, and again we were talking about that. But shout out to Hector.
Yeah, shout out to Hector.
We missed you, not Hector. Hopefully you can catch this later. Get to listen.
Yeah, give us a prediction.
Yeah,
give us a prediction. So,
side note: college football is coming back. College football is back, but the big weekend is this weekend. Any predictions on those games this weekend?
There's only one game that matters this weekend.
I mean,
Brett is very correct about that.
It's a trap game because Louisiana's pretty good. All right.
Now, did they confirm that Hurd is starting? I think.
Yeah.
Freshman.
It's Hurd over Thompson.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So we'll
see. We'll see how that works out. Because
I trust Sark, man. He knows quarterback. So
they need to put up 50 points. It doesn't even need to be close. It needs to be 50-6 or something like that.
Are they at home? It's at home, right?
Yeah. Did
they complete the stadium renovations?
Yes.
I'm interested to see what that looks like on TV.
It's on Twitter. It's online.
I haven't seen the completed.
I gotta check it out.
It's gonna be interesting.
Got a big longhorn, on the input. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah.
I gotta check it out. I'm gonna check it out when I leave here.
I already got him interested.
Yeah, we need to get that win. I'm watching that. We need to get that win for sure.
Hey, do you know what time that game is?
I don't know. I'm actually going to check once the stream is over because I need to check and see for sure. Because hopefully it's at night because that way I can get a chance to focus on the game.
There's only one other thing this coming weekend. It's anywhere close to the Longhorns, not counting the Chapel Hill game. It's got to be CM Punk's return to the ring at All Out. Tell me, y'all don't want to. That's must see TV.
It is must see TV.
See
now, I will say that I didn't know a whole lot about CM Punk because at that time I was distant from wrestling, but I knew who he was and I knew kind of what the story about what happened with him. So it's interesting to see him come back now. Obviously the fans, since I didn't know him like that, I guess the appreciation of watching him come back didn't hit me like it hit some of these other fans. But like I said, you saw those fans crying and it just, man, it reminded me of like, you ever see that one image of I can't remember what performance it was, but Michael Jackson popped up on stage and everybody was passing out and crying and stuff like that. Like it reminded me of something like that. He just stood there, man. He just stood there and people were like screaming and going nuts.
Yeah,
it's
It's
it
the go home
reminded me
show
of that.
from Dynamite. The go home shows tonight. They're going to be in Chicago tonight for Dynamite, Friday night for Rampage, and for the pay-per-view on Sunday. So 3 nights in a row in Chicago. They're going to be going crazy for him. So I'm excited to tune in to that after we get off here and just check to see how that went. But there's also a surprise that I don't know. All I know is it's very highly likely, but it's rumored, is that a former WWE champion is going to be showing up at All Out. And his name is Bryan Danielson, a.k.a. Daniel Bryan. It's supposed to be showing up at All Out. Now,
that's gonna be just as big.
And
I do know Daniel Bryan. That's a huge thing.
I mean, talking about a shot across the bow, these two signings that AEW has hit. I mean, I can't hardly even watch WWE television. It's so boring. It's so predictable. It's like rematch after rematch after rematch. So I'm excited.
They did that to themselves, though. They did that.
I know we're off topic, but I just had to throw that out there because it is a big weekend. I'm excited about. We got Chapel Hill, we got Longhorns, we got some good wrestling.
Got a lot going on.
All we need is some good Cowboys, and they're not back yet. So
Good Cowboys don't go together. It just doesn't do it. Is that a fantasy? I've never played. I've never been involved with fantasy football. All right, now I'm very interested in getting involved. I've never done.
Man, we've got a league, man. I don't know why you never jump in.
Well, I'm available.
You're available?
I'm available to jump in.
I just reactivated the league. I don't even know who's in there. We're supposed to have a draft sometime this weekend. Did you get the invite, Vince?
I don't think I did, but I'll check. I didn't see nothing pop up, but
I reactivated the league, so we're gonna have a draft sometime.
I still got the app on my phone, so
it's got Tommy's in there and Dre and our normal crew. So maybe we can find a spot for Corey. I'd like another chance to just drum him. I know he's probably gonna pick all 49ers, so he's probably not gonna have a chance. But
But I'm not delusional. I mean, come on. I mean, I do have to take some fandom out of it. I do eventually, if a Cowboy is available, I may take a player. I mean,
like Dak Prescott.
I don't have anything against Dak. Nothing against Dak. It's just that star on his helmet is a problem.
Hey, I heard Deshaun Watson is still on the roster. What's going on?
Yeah.
How many charges does he have against him? We're gonna call you. We're gonna put
hey, listen. Hold on. Now, see, you already out of line. You already in line because all we talk is football. We don't talk about what go on. Hey, when he take that jersey off, that's private business. I don't know about that.
It don't matter what you do in the private time.
I don't know if he
apparently it does.
I don't know if he
can still play on the Houston Texans. It don't matter.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on. All I know is we're gonna play ball. We're gonna play ball. That's all I know.
Well,
I sound like Mike Tomlin. We're gonna play football.
Well, that's what we're gonna do Friday night.
Sunday and play football.
And he's not gonna play football.
We're gonna have the exciting action live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. So if you didn't watch last year, Dave Campbell Texan Live offers a subscription. Just if you're gonna watch the Bulldog football this year, Logan and I are gonna have it all season long. Then go ahead and get you a subscription to Dave Campbell's Texan Live, the streaming service, and just get ready to sit down and watch some games. Not only will you get our games, but you can watch them on demand and any other football game that they have on their network. I haven't really watched on there during football season, so I'm gonna defer to y'all and tell you what y'all's experience has been getting to watch the games on there.
I've watched a lot of replay games, and it's not bad. The production on this.
It's not bad. How much was it? I can't remember how much it was.
I believe it's $10 a month.
Yeah, it's like $10.99.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's all you can watch in a month. So you can watch the Bulldogs 20 times. You can watch them. If we're blowing somebody out and you want to catch another team, you can go tune in on to them. And so it's a really good deal. I mean, to be honest, you get a lot for your money.
Didn't they do a thing too where it was like you could just buy one game if you wanted to?
You can buy.
Yeah, that's what it was.
You can buy a single game, but if you're going to go ahead and watch
it
all season
it's
long,
worth it to buy.
Just go ahead and get your subscription.
$10
I suggest that you go online and go ahead and get it. Don't wait till right before kickoff and then have issues, because everybody else is going to be trying to do that. So just go ahead and go get you a subscription. So you'll be ready to tune in on to watch the Bulldogs and listen to Logan and I call the game. So it's a great deal. We'll be back on Bulldog Sports Network with our show every week. And during basketball and baseball season, we'll be here, but we'll be on Texan Live for the football season. So it's a good deal. They're good guys. They got us into it. Bert, Jesse, and the rest of their team, they're really classy and good guys, and so they kind of started all this up, getting us showing us how to do everything and showing all the equipment that we needed. So it's kind of why we're here today. So definitely like to thank them. Y'all got anything else?
Nothing I can think of. Go Bulldogs.
I'm gonna give Vince. I'm gonna give you a homework assignment. I need you to go back and watch this week's game.
I'm gonna go back and watch it.
All right,
I'm gonna watch it. So
next week I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna quiz you on it.
Oh on both games. He gonna give me a quiz. I done already watched all the big plays, all the highlights. I done watched that 3 times now.
But you gotta sit through the whole game, man.
I gotta sit through the whole game. Yeah. I'm gonna
watch Livingston
because you got to watch the bad plays so you can comment on. If you see all the good plays, you're not going to see all the bad ones.
Yeah, like I said, I had a lot of medicine in me. I still got a lot of medicine in me.
Did you go watch Logan's Cardiac Pack podcast yet, or listen to it?
No.
You need to go back and listen to that too.
Not his podcast. Okay.
You got
the Cardiac Pack?
Yeah, Cardiac. You got plenty of time. If those of you hadn't caught it yet, go catch Logan's Cardiac Pack podcast. He should be coming out with episode 3 here soon, so go get caught up on the first 2. So, all right, guys. Well, nothing else. We'll catch y'all next week. Thanks y'all for watching.
Let's go, Bulldogs. Let's go.
Yeah, go Bulldogs.
We'll be back next week to wrap up week 2. Bulldogs versus Livingston in SFA. Remember, if you're going to catch the game, remember it is a home game, but it is in Nacogdoches this week. So if you're going to make the trip, y'all be safe and careful. And we'll catch y'all next time right here on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
All right, take it easy.